Hello everybody, Prowl here, and we have another news-filled day, and I've only been up for a couple hours. News-filled day of Hytale, including a lot of news about modding, which I'll go over a little bit, but also we have a lot of new information that's been provided as well, such as instanced dungeon systems, some really cool building mechanics that have not been talked about before, and the pricing of the game and what type of additions should be revealed in about 30 minutes from my recording right now. I'll have that for you by the end of this video. And before we get started, be sure to support the channel and let YouTube know that you like this content. Click the like button on this video if you want to see me make more Hytale videos. Click the subscribe button to let YouTube know that you enjoy this type of content and you want to see more of it. And let me know down in the comments below what type of Hytale content you would like to see from me going forward. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to let you know about is a blog post that came out yesterday. Now, this is about modding, and I'm not a modder myself, so I'm not going to dive too deep into this, but I wanted to give you some relevant information that's going to matter to anybody that's going to be getting into this game. First of all, Slikey is the technical director of Hytale. He's the one that's posting about modding here. He's going to let us know a little bit about kind of where they are and what's going on with the modding scene for Hytale. And if you don't know, Hytale is going to be moddable from day one, and they actually have some really cool in-game modding tools available, meaning you don't have to be a programmer and know code to be able to mod the game, although knowing code or being a programmer and knowing different coding languages can help you mod the game even further than what the in-game modding, like UI-based modding, is able to do. So it basically talks about like a reality check here saying that modding is not where they want it to be currently. They're missing years of a development time that they're now having to compress down into several months. There's big gaps in tools, documentation, and like the ways that systems are exposed, like maybe making you think that you can do something that you can't, or that you can't do something that you can, as examples. And some features only exist because they were hacked together during prototyping too. So like they're not like functioning as intended, but they are kind of functioning. And really what they decided to do was just to ship access now instead of waiting for it to be perfect. So modders can at least hop in and start using it. And then this way they can continue to patch it, probably some pretty big patches, very frequently to fix things, and then also to help them see, like the modders that are using it, what are the things that they feel like need to be patched or added or fixed or whatever the most, and it'll help them kind of hone in on where they should throw their priorities in getting this working right. And basically the rest of here, they just kind of talk about like what the different things that they're doing in modding are, what their philosophies are, the different methods in which you can mod, why they decided to not allow modding in certain ways. They just kind of explain a lot of their methodology and reasoning behind how modding is going to work. So if you're a modder, you may want to read through this. If you're not, it's not really going to affect you so much. Really just the biggest thing to know is somebody that's more of a player rather than a modder is that modders are going to have all the tools that they need to be able to create really good mods. If you're thinking of getting into modding, Hytale should make it pretty easy. There's going to be a lot of UI-based stuff. There's actually a video here. I'll make sure I link this article in the description below, and you can watch this video where they show them modding this portal. Also, there's a cool video that Simon posted where they modded a raptor to be rideable. Here's some other screenshots. This is from Blockbench, so they are interconnected with Blockbench. I think Unreal Engine can be imported as well. There's a lot of different things that can be done, and a lot of things that you can mod in the game, it can be done while in game and be seen live while in game. So ultimately, what this should lead to is mods being able to be created faster and at a higher quality. So I would just be on the lookout. Oh, and another thing too is for anybody that's curious about how modding is going to work from a player perspective, are you going to need a different launcher? Are you going to need to know like how and where to put files and all of that? And the answer to all that is no. Modding will be all world/server side, meaning that if a server has the mods installed or your world has the mods installed, then you can just join it and it'll automatically download for you. It's a little bit closer to how like Bedrock Edition Minecraft works versus how Java Edition Minecraft works. So it should have a lower barrier of entry and just be easier to get into and maintain and play overall for players. Now, also, I was going to wait to show you guys this, but I ended up having to go out and run some errands. So this news is now available. So I'll just show you right now. Is Hytale is now officially announced as being $19.99 US dollars. $19.99. This is honestly a ridiculously low price. I personally expected it, like better case scenario, to be somewhere around like 40 bucks initially. Then Simon said less than 30, and it looks like they've settled on $20. So that's really, really good. The barrier of entry for people monetarily is going to be extremely low. I do have some like questions that Simon answered coming up a little bit later in this video around pricing. Maybe I'll push those to be just after this segment. But there are 3 different editions, and I want to make sure I clear something up for people that don't quite understand. The $20 standard edition is all you need, meaning that everything gameplay wise, modding wise, all of the tools, everything is included in all 3 editions of the game. The only thing that you get out of upgrading to the supporter or the curse breaker founders pack is cosmetic things. And now what that means is, or the example that Simon gave, let me see if I can find it. I wasn't able to find it right now. Maybe as we go through a little bit later and I start going through screenshots of Simon on Twitter, because he's been on there a lot answering a lot of questions, I'll be able to find it and pull it up then. But basically the higher editions of the game will only be cosmetic things like hats and capes. You're not going to have like a whole category locked behind something or anything like that. If you're familiar with how capes work on Minecraft, you like get them for doing special things. There will be a cape probably for Curse Breaker Edition and maybe a different cape for Supporter Edition. Like I said, maybe hats or some type of like outfit or something like that. That's all. These editions are priced higher only because you're basically saying, I want to support the studio, so I'm willing to pay more money for the game than what the game actually costs to do that. And then their way of thanking you for deciding to almost donate that extra money is, hey, here, have a couple of little cosmetic things as a thank you for the support to the studio. So you don't have to buy either one of these to get anything other than those cosmetics. I just want to make that clear because a lot of people like to misconstrue this as something that it's not. Standard edition is perfectly fine and will offer you everything that the game has to offer. So we're going to start with what happened earlier in the day here and kind of work through all the tweets that Simon's put out. I have quite a lot of them here to show you that give really good information. I'm not showing you every single little thing that he says, but the things that I find relevant and give like new or useful or exciting information about what's coming up with the game that maybe we didn't know from before. This first one right here I thought was fun. Hytale had posted, let me see if I can find it. This video right here, I guess we'll actually just play it real quick. It's short. This is going through zone 4. And I think I showed this in yesterday's news story, but it's just a player going through the underground of zone 4, and they come across some raptors. You can see them in the background right here. And these raptors start attacking the player, and the player runs away. Is essentially all it is. Now, after that, there's a big uproar of, well, we want to be able to ride the raptor. That'd be really cool to be able to ride a raptor. So what ended up happening was one of the developers ended up modding it into the game. This is not vanilla gameplay here. They're not adding this as a vanilla option, at least not, they're not saying that they're doing that as of yet, but somebody brought up that it would be really cool to be able to ride the raptor. So somebody made a mod to do it internally, and there you go. They get on the raptor, they're able to stand on it and start running around and riding it. Really, really, really cool. As you see, it can run, it can jump. It moves pretty quick too, which is very nice. In any event, Simon said it was literally just 4 lines that needed to be added, and he showed what those 4 lines were. And somebody asked him, and this can be modified while the game is running? And Simon replied to that, yes. So you could be in game, you can add these 4 lines of code to the mob and actually make them rideable. This is just an extension of how good this modding system will potentially be, to where you could do it all in game and test it out live which should, I would imagine, really improve a lot of modders' workflows on getting things to work because they can actually live test it. Also, Mine asked, can this just be in the base game yet? To which Simon replied, no taming mount system yet. So kind of janky to do with raptors at the moment. So they don't have like an actual taming system for mounts currently. So they had to do some magic to just make that happen within the modding portion of the game. But it is definitely possible. And it also means that we, of course, we will have tamed mounts in the game in the future. Also, I have a series of 3 tweets here where people are just kind of like coming at the game and then Simon's getting a little snappy back. I thought it was kind of funny personally, so I wanted to include it. A lot of references to Hytale just being modded Minecraft. Somebody said it's just modded Minecraft, dude. And then Simon said difference is you don't need to mod our game to look like this, which I thought was pretty funny. Another one was watch the Hytale gameplay trailer and it straight up looks like this, and it's like some type of like cheap mobile Minecraft ripoff. And Simon said, don't worry, we're working on accessibility options for the visually impaired. Thanks for your report. Absolute fire, hilarious. And then there was another one here. It said it's just Minecraft, and he said don't buy it, question mark. I don't care, bro. I'm already financially free for life. I'm doing this for fun, which I thought was a great one to end on because it's not like he's sitting here and trying to do this for the money. He's not trying to figure out what way can I monetize this game the most to make the most out of it, to appease people that are financially invested in the game or shareholders or whatever, right? People that hold stakes in the game. He doesn't have to worry about that. He's financially free to do what he wants. So he's going to just make the game good in the way that he and the people around him thinks will make the game good. And this kind of leads back to when we just said that the game is only going to cost $20 to purchase the standard edition. There you go. That's why you have a $20 game instead of a $40 or $50 game. It's not about the money. It's just about making a good game. And then I'll just say to those people that say it's just modded Minecraft. Well, first of all, that is a good testament to how good Minecraft modding is. Minecraft modding is actually incredible, but there are a lot of things inside of the base game of Hytale that modders would have a impossible time doing. Maybe not always from a technical perspective, but modders will typically create a mod that does a specific task, and then players will then create mod packs of hundreds of mods together to try to create some sort of gameplay loop or experience. And that gameplay loop or experience always has somewhat of a disjointed, broken feel to it. Maybe there's a couple of exceptions of like front to back mods that are great. I can think like Create Mod or Vault Hunters, for example. But generally speaking, mods aren't a complete front to back experience, whereas a different game is. Hytale's its own front to back experience that in its vanilla form will be great, and I think you'll see that its modded form will look much different than Minecraft's does. I don't want to sit here and start the big fight of Hytale better than Minecraft or whatever. I'm just going to say that people that come at the game in this manner are honestly just kind of stupid. Hytale is obviously inspired by Minecraft, so of course it's going to have a lot of crossover, but it's also its own game, and it's going to have a lot of things that are way different than Minecraft as well. We had another user ask, Ryan asked, can you make your body be visible when you look down? Kind of like Minecraft is. You can look down and see your body. And Simon, or is that, can you see your body in vanilla Minecraft? I don't even remember. Maybe it's a mod that does that, but either way, Simon responded back, maybe after launch we will investigate if possible without too much trouble. I took notes, so maybe we'll be able to look down and see our own body. I think that's kind of cool. It just gives you a little bit of sense of self and immersion in the world. Obviously, you do have third person mode that's playable, so you can see your body that way if you really want to, but being able to see it in first person, I think is good too. Now, somebody did ask Simon if there's going to be a new trailer. Simon said he doesn't think so. He's just going to be posting footage and stuff for now. I wouldn't expect a new official trailer before full release. Maybe when they get to full release, which is probably 2-3 years out from now, if we had to give our best guess currently, maybe then at that time, you'll see a new trailer. But for now, just enjoy the gameplay bits that you get to see. And once the game becomes available for everybody, enjoy all the cool YouTube videos that myself and others are going to be making. Okay, this was a huge one, like a really big one that I wanted to highlight. Big Dude asked Simon, I was wondering if creating instance dungeons would be possible with the tools provided. Like a dungeon you can go up to and other players on your world will get notified and asked to join. If they do, you teleport to the instance. Then afterwards it resets. Simon says we have an instance system that supports that. And this is huge news because instances will really open up a whole lot for the modding side of the game. I don't think they'll probably use much or any of it in the vanilla side, although they may. But the modding side of the game is going to be really cool. The favorite Minecraft mod that I ever played, and I'm not a huge modded person, but it was Vault Hunters. And the reason that I loved Vault Hunters was I had to run around and collect things from the vanilla world and then spend those things to open up a portal to then go into an instance dungeon to go fight like bad guys and then get cool rewards from loot and all that sort of thing. It was an incredible amount of fun. I'll probably go back and play that again at some point, but this makes something like that very easily possible being part of their modding engine already. Also, to elaborate further, Big Dude said, sweet, can't wait to play around with that. And Simon replied, it supports entire new worlds or dungeons where block breaking is disabled. You can run multiples in parallel. So what he's saying there is you could make new dimensions this way or new worlds this way, not just an instanced dungeon, but you could create an all new dimension that players could go to and play in, which will be huge for modding, of course. And then when he says multiples can run in parallel, what he means is you could have 5 different players create 5 instanced dungeons at the same time and go in them all separately. It's not like only one instance can exist at a time. Here somebody was just saying like, hey, you said you would announce the release date at the end of the next week. It's been beyond that date that he said he would announce. Simon says end of next week we will decide and announce the precise early access release date. Apologies if it's confusing. We are moving fast on multiple fronts and sometimes my tweets are all over the place. So we are in the week of the 16th through the 22nd, which means in 2 days from the point that this video posts, that week we should hear a solid exact early release date for the game. So somebody asked Simon, I'm trying to paraphrase this here to get it right. Basically, they're asking him, is the only way that you craft via recipes, or is there going to be some type of grid type system like Minecraft is? Simon has said there's no grid crafting in Hytale. It could be easily modded in though if somebody cared enough to do it. They are aiming to be different and easier when it comes to the action of crafting. The challenges will come from other places in the game. So no grid style crafting, more just have the right resources in your inventory to be able to craft. Style crafting will be in the game. But if you love the grid style crafting of Minecraft, there's literally a 100% chance that several people will mod something like that into the game. So keep a lookout for the modded scene for that if that's something that you love. This person then gave a little bit of kickback, which I think is fine. They said it may be simpler, but in my opinion, it lacks in depth and innovation. Any idea to improve it? Question mark, question mark. And then Simon responded, you haven't seen the actual crafting yet. It's more innovative than grid crafting and more intuitive for new players. You can upgrade the workstations and eventually expand that system into something that grounds the player to build a house or village. You will see it evolve over time and understand. So all I could do is kind of guess and project on this, but what it sounds like there's going to be is they're going to go the route of having different crafting / workstations for different categories of things that you may want to craft or create. It's hard to know exactly what he means when he says eventually expand that system into something that grounds the player to build a house or a village. The only thing I can think of if I were to give a Minecraft example to this would be, you know how people in Minecraft will have a they'll use villager professions as a theme. Let me make a blacksmith house. Let me make a librarian house. Let me make a cartographer house. Like you kind of have these different themes that emerge. It sounds like that's what he means. Again, I can't be 100% sure, but that would be my guess. I think it would be really cool. And I don't know if Simon will listen to this video or not. Simon, if you listen to this video, comment down below so I know. What I think would be really cool would be is if these workstations have the ability to pull from storage in some way, but they have to somehow be connected to that storage or within a specific range, a tight range of that storage. Because then what you could do is, like, let's say you had a crafting station that was intended to craft different types of armors, weapons, arrows, stuff like that. Then you could store all of those things locally close to that crafting area. And then you would need to build some type of structure, or you would want to build some type of structure around it or close to it or to be part of it, basically. to kind of like house that. And then you would want to do that for different like groupings that they have these different stations for. Okay, this was a good one, and I can't wait to see this. So Vecnu asked, we haven't seen any building gameplay yet. I'm really looking forward to it. Will we be able to see it soon? Simon says, yep, just finished rotations and other cool features, polishing up connected / smart block placement, and we'll see what we can record for you guys. So if you don't know what that means, here's what I take it as. Rotations simply means that you could place a block down and click it or interact with it in some way to rotate that block, I guess, in any direction that you may want to. Although he could technically mean that when you place a block against another block, like depending on which like axis you place it against, rotates the block a different way. I'm assuming it's going to be the former, but it could be the latter. This one is really good though. They're polishing up connected / smart block placement. So connected placement to me means like think Minecraft when you connect fences together, or a fence connects to a block or something like that. I think that's what he means by connected. Smart block placement, I don't know if he also means that, or does he mean like a block snapping? For example, I can like hover my cursor above a block, and then the game knows, okay, he wants to place this block above that one. Like you don't have to actually get above and then look down and click on the face of the block to place it. The game just knows if you look to above or you look to the right of a block and then you click to place, it'll know to place the block. I hope that's what he means, because that'll be really awesome for building. Poika asked, so are you thinking of regional pricing? Because it was asked, they were asking about regional pricing for Brazil. A lot of places were asking for regional pricing for Brazil. I'm not quite sure why it was such a big thing in Brazil, but I don't really know the international scene very well. But Simon did say it won't be possible at launch, but I'm working hard to lower price of game before announcement today, which he did end up doing, by the way. He did end up announcing or saying after the fact that, hey, like we couldn't do regional pricing, so we just made the game cheaper for everybody. So there you go, which is definitely really awesome of him to do and got us down to that $20 price point. Also, he has not foregone like regional pricing being a potential thing in the future. But they couldn't get it. They couldn't get that sort of thing figured out for launch. So maybe regional pricing will come later on. Canadian Flash, another Hytale content creator who you guys might want to follow, said, will there be a gifting option so I could buy the game for my friends? Simon said, we'll try to get an option for it, probably post early access launch if it doesn't work out. This is something I would like to see, and a reason you guys will definitely want to subscribe to the channel, come to live streams especially, but also watch the videos, is when it is possible, I definitely want to give away some free copies of the game. Seth here asked if username reservation will be first come first serve, or will creators have a chance to reserve their names first? And then Simon basically responded with no, but also yes. Like basically username reservation will be first come first serve, but if somebody takes the name of a established like content creator, YouTuber, that I guess that creator would be able to reach out to Hypixel through some official channel, and then Hypixel would change that other person's name. Or give them an option to change it themselves first before they forcefully change it. I don't really know exactly how the process will work, but nobody will be able to steal relevant people's names and just like reserve them for the sake of reserving them. Okay, so now we're getting into some of the juicy stuff. Somebody said, I think you're underestimating the value of an automation system. It greatly enhances gameplay, replayability, and player creativity. It was one of the things I was most excited to see. And Simon says, automation can be different than Redstone, like the create mod. So that's kind of interesting, right? Because create doesn't really work off of Redstone. It's a different type of mechanical system that exists. So I don't know if this is Simon hinting at, hey, we are going to have machine type things, maybe closer to what a create mod is versus a logic system like what Redstone is. But they're not going to have something that is logic based. They're not going to have Redstone or a Redstone like duplicate in the game. And that leads me to this post. So I believe the original poster was replying to this, where Simon said, Minecraft is one of the greatest games of all time. It has perfected many designs that no one appreciates. Hytale's going in a very different path. We're going into adventure aspects as a core game with modding in mind. We will not, and then he continues that to say, we will not be adding a Redstone style system or Redstone. My reply to that was, the Redstone part is disappointing to me. I'm not a Redstone enthusiast, but I enjoy using it to make automated farms and storage setups. And I go on about how that helps, like, I guess, drive me to build big structures and drives me to play the game or world for hundreds of hours. So Simon's response to that was this: please remember, the game is not good enough yet. We have many systems and gameplay stuff we need to do to achieve our vision. We do have plans for automations and fun gadgets to expand the creativity of adventure players. However, right now our focus is on the release. So essentially what he's saying is, don't expect any type of automation at launch. They're trying to get a functional game, which makes total sense to me. But he's also alluding to the fact that they will have something that will help with automation and fun gadgets. The biggest thing I hope to see is that it's very player driven and not game driven. And what I mean by that is, I don't want a iron station that I just place down and it just generates iron. I don't want a wood station that I place down and it just generates wood, or like a wood station I place down, I set a sapling on it, and then it just pops out trees or like pops out wood blocks all on its own. It's very boring to me. It takes a lot of the fun out. So I hope we have something that maybe goes more along the lines of Minecraft, or you could say Create Mod, where like I can set up a machine that automatically plants trees, and then I have to then like place down another machine that's going to like take the tree bark and break it, and then it'll break it down into an item form, and then I then have to put down a machine that'll then like collect those items and then insert them into chests. That's fun. I like that. And then I can either have it just do that with one tree, or I can have it do that with every tree. It's up to me in terms of how large I want to scale this thing up. So hopefully that's what we see. This is in regards, I can't remember if I answered this earlier or not. I don't think I did. Somebody was basically asking, if they buy one version of the game, can they upgrade to another version later? So if you buy the standard version now, can you upgrade to the Cursebreaker edition later? The answer is yes, you will be able to upgrade. So you're not pressured to buy the higher edition now. Otherwise you're kind of like screwed. You could spend your $20 today. And then if at some point in the future, maybe you play the game for a while, and you're like, you know what, man, I want to throw these guys an extra $50 because they did a great job and I want to get the cool cape. Then you can upgrade for the extra $50 to the higher edition if you like. And then mine, another good Hytale YouTuber, go ahead and make sure you follow his channel, check him out, said winter version benefits going to be announced. And Simon said artists are progressing well. We'll be able to share some when we announce release date. So they're currently working on what the versions are going to have, because obviously they want to have that available for when the game releases. Okay, and then this one's a little bit more recent, so I'm just going to record this one while I have it up here on the screen with you guys. Simon asked, do you want gliders in Hytale? And of course, both answers are yes. So that means we'll probably have gliders. I did make a comment about this, but I think some people's pushback on my comment was probably pretty good. My fear was, like, when I hear the word glider as a Minecraft player, I think the elytra, and the elytra in Minecraft is just incredibly overpowered. And that overpoweredness is made even worse by the fact that all other forms of travel are just kind of butt. So I don't want to see that happen in Hytale, where you have this like rocket propelled glider that just easily skips you around the world super fast to anywhere you want and is like relatively easy to get. I would rather see them go the route of having really good ground travel options, and then if there is going to be something as powerful as the elytra, it be pushed into the way end game. It'd be a real challenge to get it. But some people kind of like they caught me on my Minecraft bias a little bit, called me out on my Minecraft bias a little bit, and said like a glider is not technically an elytra, which is true. So if it's just a glider, like I have a hang glider that I can equip and I have to go up somewhere kind of high and then I can just like glide to a location, I think that's pretty well balanced and probably has a good place in like the mid-ish game. It could be early mid-game even, because you do have to climb somewhere high. You can't continue to propel yourself infinitely like you can in Minecraft with rockets. So I think that does have a good place. But yes, I would just ask anybody to consider the balance of that when you think about it. Like just being able to infinitely fly everywhere with no downside and all upside is probably not good for the game, because it just makes you look at everything from above and kind of trivializes travel. I would like to see versions of travel on the ground that are really good. They could be railway systems. They could be portals that have some type of like cost to them. They could be mount-based travel, whatever. Like a lot of different forms of travel are good. The more powerful they are, just push them into the end game, but have some solid options in the early to mid game too, to where if people get those, they kind of feel like, like this is good. Like I don't have to have something that flies me all over the world. Like this raptor that I'm riding is pretty fast, and it's pretty easy to take them anywhere I want to go, so I could just use that. All right, and at least as of about 1 p.m. my time, that's all I have for Hytale News right now. I'm sure Simon will tweet 1,000 more times and make me wish that I'd push this video off till later in the day, but we're gonna go ahead and post it out now. If you guys want to see more great Hytale content, make sure you like this video to let me and YouTube know that you're enjoying the Hytale stuff, and make sure you subscribe to the channel for more Hytale content. We're going to keep up with the news until the game releases, and when the game does release, I would expect me to do some type of Let's Play series exploring the game for the first time, and maybe even more specifically, I'll do a lot of live streams from in-game if people want to come and watch live gameplay, and we'll be doing some guides as I figure things out for myself. I will start with some guides or some tutorials that are of more of the basic things, and then progressively get those through the game to show people how to do all the cool things that it seems like Hytale is going to have. So I appreciate you guys watching today, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.